Mary Helen Dara, Taylor Automotive Family. Today we are visiting with Katie Gilliland of Finch and Fern Book Company. Since 2023, she has been offering Savanians all kinds of literary options. Let's go in and meet this incredible young woman. Katie, thank you so much for being here today. Just have to ask right off the bat, what inspired you to open a bookstore and how did you choose the mix of new and used books?
Well, what inspired me to open the bookstore was almost a decade of working in corporate bookstores and feeling like what people were telling me they weren't getting from their local bookstores was an easy fix, and that I had the skills and knowledge to make that happen. As far as my choosing new and used, I want books to be accessible to everyone, and used books are a great way to make it so that for people who like to go on a shopping spree and buy a ton of books at once, they can get them at a lower cost. For people who are on like fixed incomes or really tight budgets, it allows them the luxury of buying a book without spending a ton of money.
Yeah, that's awesome. I understand you have some authors events here and there,
hmm
and how do you go about choosing authors to have here?
Well, mostly the authors come to me.
That's a nice problem to have.
There's a lot of people writing books in the area. I mean, even just immediately in Toledo and the towns that are packed right around us. I probably hear from a new author every week or two, like somebody who's just written their first book or somebody who's put a new book out. And it's really not hard
That's
to come
exciting
by
to hear
authors.
that we have such a
And they
literary
write
community.
across all genres too. So I have a really good variety of authors to pull from. People who are not very well known, I tend to try and schedule them on First Fridays because First Fridays have a built in crowd. You don't have to work as hard to get people to come in because people are just down here already. So it gives a new author added exposure just by way of being here on that day.
Wonderful. And what was the most memorable author event you've held thus far?
So I sit here as a champion of indie authors, but I'm going to tell you that the best author event, like my best experience with an author event, I'll do one of each. How about that? For a traditionally published author, it was Graham Moore.
Oh, yes.
Graham came here. He spent an hour with me just answering all my questions because I geeked out hard on his book and I had some really intense questions. And he said, "These are very in depth." I was like, "Well, I can't ask these in front of an audience. I'll spoil the book." So he was so gracious to spend all that time with me. And I think that's what made that event so special. And then if we're talking about like an indie author event, honestly, people show up for women authors and it makes me so happy. I feel so much joy when I see women here supporting other women, lifting them up, empowering each
Well, we're
other.
all about that.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So most recently it would have been Harmony Sharp. She wrote a sapphic romance and her moms were here. A whole bunch of her friends and family and coworkers were here, and it was like everybody got their own picture with her, and it was just like such a sweet and empowering kind of moment, and I really, really loved that.
Oh, that's great. How do you see independent bookstores like yours shaping the community around them?
Well, I think it's a place for people to gather, to talk about common ideas, to learn more about the world around them through their experiences in reading and how we interpret the things that we read. We can find, a lot of common ground just by way of being readers, and I think that finding ways to connect with each other is what helps like keep a community like tight knit, and it like that's what gives Sylvania, it's a bigger town but it still has the small town vibes because we
Absolutely.
find ways to connect with each other.
Yeah. Is there a particular book, new or used, that you always recommend or that has a special place in your heart?
So that changes all the time because I read a ton. So like the book that I read this year so far that I can't stop thinking about. It's called 10 Things That Never Happened, and it's a gay rom-com, but some of the sweetest, most profound like life things happen in that book. It's so just wholesome and adorable and hilarious. I like books that are going to make me laugh. I like all kinds of books, but I read a lot of things that are just made to make you laugh in between all of that.
That is.
And we need the levity right now. Things are pretty crazy.
Yes. All right, lightning round here.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Coffee or tea while reading?
I switch.
Okay.
I do both.
Okay. Paperback, hardcover, or audio?
Paperback or audio. Either one. Those are my bread and butter. I do both of those.
All right. Favorite literary character of all time?
That's been changing recently too. Right now it's Paul Atreides.
All right. One book you wish everyone would read?
I'm gonna go with Dune right now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Dune.
Get busy.
Yeah.
A dream author, living or gone, you'd love to host in your store?
Anthony Bourdain, hands down.
Oh, yes. One of my favorites.
He inspired me to become a writer. He is the reason that I decided to write.
Really? That's great. Well, Katie, thank you so much for having
you.
us in this lovely space. We could hang here all day. And thank you for lifting up your community and all that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Katie, for sharing this amazing space with us. And we happen to know the author here. Hey, Tom Cole. Let's hop in the car and hit the road and see who's next in the driver's seat.